All right, Breezeway Productions here with a very cool, innovative product. Now it's a speaker, and I have no rights to talk about it because we have the genius behind it right here. So why don't you give us a little info?
Genius, I can't even spell it. RIVA actually, it's a derivation of a Greco-Latin word for purity. When the Romans built their aqueducts for bringing the fresh water from the Alps, they referred to the riva, the flow of the pure water. I've spent my life working with so many of the artists that are now legends. Of course, when we were young, they weren't legends. They were just the Who, the Led Zeppelin, the Jimi Hendrix, the Stones. They were bands that played in my shows or in my clubs. And I started developing audio systems because I felt that the shows were, there really wasn't anybody building audio for the emergence of particularly the British music. So I developed Electrotech, which was probably the largest touring production company in the world for audio systems and lighting systems. And from Barbra Streisand to Queen to Bob Marley to The Who, Rod Stewart, Tom Petty, Lollapalooza, I could go on for hours, but those were artists and things that situations that I worked with. And got to a point in my life where I retired, semi-retired, and I became a consultant and started developing audio products for companies like Vizio and Dell and Gateway, and it was a good life. And then all of a sudden, I started hearing the music that I grew up with. I mean, just if you Google Rikki Farr, Pink Floyd, you will see that the Pink Floyd lived in my warehouse on Marshalsea Road. That's where they wrote Ummagumma and rehearsed Dark Side of the Moon. So this is not a time when we're all legends with big cars and big houses. We were young guys who were just loving what we were doing, and we were passionate about it. And I was very, very passionate about everything I did in music, and it was very good to me. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing these little tin boxes that are sounding like elephants' farts, that are just so underwhelmingly playing anything but the bastardized truth of the music that I grew up with. So I thought either I open my mouth and do something about it or shut up and walk away. Well, it's not in my DNA to walk away from the artists that gave me a fabulous life, a fabulous memory, and still a great opportunity for the future. So I got together with some of the best engineers on the planet. I went to some people, I know a lot of people, so I went to some people and said, we need to put some millions of dollars into this, and they know that I've been successful with pretty much everything I've done, and they said, let's go. And from the first day when I heard my first music in a small club in Hamburg with the then Silver Beatles, to listening to some of the newer music that's coming through and some of the really good new music that's coming through, the Melody, Jadots, and listening to Drake, Maxwell, and listening to some of even the EDM. I love dance music when it's really presented well, but I can't stand somebody who takes an instrument like a bass and makes it like a 90 cycle thump. You can do that with a boxing glove, not with an instrument. So we decided to build products that reproduced the quality of that sound and brought back the nuance, the emotion, the expression of words, and give people, I'm watching young people, my grandson, and he's saying, Granddad, I never heard it like that before. Then I know that we've succeeded. When you get one and you take it home and you play it, and after 3 hours you still realize the music isn't fatiguing you, it isn't ignoring you, and you're enjoying what you're listening to, then we've done it right. And when you do the same, and as we go through this passage that we're going through now, which I have to say is in the great universe a blessing, because we started something that we thought we knew it would be successful for the few who really appreciate it, but we never realized that it would start catching fire, and people who've been wearing polyester all their life are suddenly going, wow, I've got some real worsted here. And we're the real minerals. We're the sound. And I want to give people 70% of the original recording. And if anybody tells you they can give you more, they're full of shit, because I've been in the recording studio, have many platinum records, and I can give you 100% if you give me $1 million recording studio. But if we can get 70% out of that little box, then we've done the artist proud, we've done music proud, and we've also made a lot of people's ears happy. So I want everybody who's got a nice pair of ears to send me a birthday card on September 30th, 1940. No, we're having fun. I tell you, we're having fun, but in a very passionate, technical way, and we're having a lot of success.